What's up, y'all? This is Bo here. This morning we're gonna well, it's probably this afternoon by now. We're gonna go ahead and get some squash plants that I have there. Some spaghetti squash, some cucumbers, and some zucchinis in the ground. I've been having them growing. They got 2 leaves on them now, so they're ready to be planted. So let's get them into the ground so we can get some veggies. Okay, so up here, right, I have some cantaloupe, right? I had them in a cup, and just a little while ago, I had separated them into their own cells, and I'm gonna give them a couple weeks so they can put out some true leaves and get a little stronger. And then we're gonna go ahead and get those on our big trellis over there, growing right along with the watermelons. And over here we have the watermelons, right? These are the watermelons. They're coming along. They need a couple more weeks maybe to the true leaves are about to come out. You can just start seeing them now. But I want them to have at least 2 nice big true leaves before we put them on the earth garden. So there you go with that. Then over here we have some yellowneck squash, and some in the background over here we have the patty pan squash. Down here, this is all the stuff that we're gonna go ahead and put into the ground today. Here we have some coselli, zucchinis. We have some in the background here. We have some cucumbers. We have some borage right here that I just want to spread out around some areas there. We got some butternut squash in the back, and again we have some cucumbers back there. So and the only one that came up was just one spaghetti squash. So we're gonna go ahead and get him into the ground because he's nice looking. I don't know what happened to those seeds. Bad pack of seeds. So let's go ahead and get those into the ground. Nice thumbnail. Hey. Let's get these into the ground. All right, so I just hit them up with some garden lime there. So the garden lime will certainly help these zucchinis there when they're growing. Sometimes you know how you get that blossom end rot on them and you're so discouraged. So that garden lime will help prevent that from happening. So it certainly help. So anyway, let's go ahead and get these in the ground. I'm gonna hit them up with some blood meal and some bone meal as well. And we're gonna get these guys off and kicking in a good start. Of course, we got these babies here off to a good start, good root system, nice and strong. They've been, since I've been growing these guys here, they've already been outside for several days to harden off. So Matter of fact, what I did was after they got to a certain point, I had took off the complete cover from the top of my greenhouse and left the doors open so they had them hot enough that way. Also, I'm gonna be pulling off all the plastic, and what I'm gonna do there is for another project. I'm gonna go ahead and put plastic siding on all the sides, not just hard plastic. But that's for another story. I also prepared these planting holes there for them about a week ago, and ever since doing that, you should have seen when I first came earlier today to make these little holes there to prepare for the planting, and I just pushed it to the side. The worms are ridiculous. Soil Life has moved in there, so it's always a good idea to pre-do your holes, your planting area, weeks ahead of time, so you're not coming out that same day and just putting this dry materials that you use there. I'm pretty sure you're using great stuff, but when you put the stuff in and it's the same day, it's just not the same as you pre-preparing it weeks ahead, so that way the Soil Life will move in and the soil just feels much better. So when you plant your plants in there, you'll benefit from it and they'll love it. These seedlings are feeling nice and hard and ready to produce some zucchinis for the brother Bo. I ran out of bone meal. Just had just enough. I gotta go buy another pack. All right, let's walk over there and we're gonna go ahead and get that spaghetti squash in down into the woods here. So that was weird, right? I planted 6 seeds in themselves, and I was hoping to get at least five or six of these spaghetti squash. I only ended up with 1, so that bad pack of seeds. So I definitely got to get some more because I definitely want to plant several of these spaghetti squash plants over here. But the one that I do have really grew well. 2-3 leaves on it. Some nice root system on it. Plant is nice and hiding off, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and put a cage around this one over here because Ricky's dog will be trampling around over here, and I don't want him to step on it. Even though she's very good. She's very considerate of the plant. But I'm gonna go ahead and put. Actually, I'm gonna put 3 little stakes around it. That's what I'm gonna do. So I have plenty of these little stakes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one right there. Put one right there. Right here. She's nice and set up there too. Also, when she's growing and getting bushy, big wind comes by there, she'll be kind of protected by these here to hold it down. So we're looking good, and we're moving on. We're moving on to planting something else. I think some yellow squash. I'm gonna, in this area here, I'm gonna plant, like I said, I'm gonna bring the patty pan squash. I'm gonna have a whole section over there for them, and I'm gonna get a few other plants up in this area as well. But let's go get some of those yellow squash in the ground. All right, guys, so I decided, right, because this is my garden, so I plant what I want to plant, when I want to plant, and how I want to do it, right? So I decided I'm not going to plant the rest of the stuff I had there, the yellow squash. I put them back in the greenhouse, and I'm going to plant those in a couple of days. I'm going to go ahead and just get these cucumbers in their planted area where you all saw me build that some while ago, and I told you I was gonna plant some cucumbers in there. So these are the cucumbers that are gonna grow in there. I got some straight 8, and I have some Burplex cucumbers. So never had them. Well, we're gonna find out how good they are. So anyway, gonna get these into the ground, and I have some other ones over there. They're another variety of cucumber, and I'm gonna plant them on over by the big trellis as well. So let's go get that done. Ricky! Come on, man. Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to take a minute and show you how big Dr. Ricky has gotten over the past year and a half or 2 that you haven't really been seeing him out here in the Bulls garden. So just want to show you. See how big he's gotten? He ain't that little kid that you all started seeing at the beginning growing vegetables out in the garden, right? He has grown here on the garden, just growing food, and knows a whole lot about it and stuff. So just so proud of him. Oh, by the way, he just at school, he just won the 400 meter, took the gold for his school. So very proud of him on that. So we're gonna see you back out in the garden
Soon.
soon.
Yeah.
All right. If you don't get out here, I'm gonna take Uncle Pappy on you. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah. Oh, and one thing I forgot about Dr. Ricky, he's a straight A student at the very top of the grade. All right, so let's get these cucumbers in the ground over here. As you can see over here as we're walking by, look at the blackberries. The blackberries are bursting out. And I told you all last year that this plant right here was going to put out like crazy, and she's doing just that. Over here, like right, look at this is the area that I mulch for my watermelons. As you can see, it's just waiting on the watermelons. Cardboarded, and the wood chips are all down. It's looking fantastic. Have a whole bunch of stuff planted over there, but that's for another day. I want to show you over here in the bucket, right? The potatoes are coming out. These potatoes are potatoes I had from last year, the small ones that I kept. So in there I got Yukon Gold, and so I got a mixture of Yukon Gold and the little red potatoes are all growing together in there, and they are happy as can be. The tomatoes, look at them, they're nice and flush. Oh my God, I just put those in not too long ago. Look how flush they are. They're just loving that soil, no doubt. Trellis over there, waiting on those cantaloupe. So out front, what I planted, right? I got some I have some peppers. You got the mustard greens going crazy over there. Growing some peppers. That little tomato right there is a volunteer. I don't know what kind it is, so I just kept them there, and I'm gonna let them grow there. So we got the little mini sweet peppers, bell peppers all up front here. And as I said, we're waiting on the cantaloupe because they're gonna run this whole trellis. 2 different varieties of cantaloupe we're gonna grow there. And then over here in the buckets, right? We have some tomatoes, right? Those tomatoes, right? These tomatoes over here, these are determinate tomatoes. These are Ruggers tomatoes. This is my favorite tomato. I just love them. They're growing nice in the container. Another one there. Over here in this container here, we have some Paris lettuce growing there along with the tomato. And again over there, and over here is that little trellis that I put together for these cucumbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those cucumbers in the ground real quick because my battery is telling me to do so. You know what I mean? Right there, we have some onions growing inside there as well, and we have some arugula in the front there. And I'm gonna go ahead and get those cucumbers in there real quick. Of course, this soil over here is just fabulous. I make it a point, very serious about my soil. This soil is so soft you just sink into it. All right. All right, guys. There you go. One day of planting, one day of enjoying your garden. And I got most of the stuff that I want to plant in the ground here. So there's a few other things that I got to get into the ground, as you've seen, the yellow squash and a few other things, but I got the majority of my plants that I'm going to grow this season already in the ground. I even already have the eggplants in the ground, and they're doing good. They're getting bigger. Show you those in another video. So it's a beautiful day. The garden is just growing just beautifully. I couldn't be any happier with the way the garden is growing and how I'm doing things here in my garden. I hope you all are inspired by something that you see from the bull, and because I certainly get inspired by you all as well. So it's just, you know, showing love back and forth one another. So all right, guys, so until next time, I love yous. God bless.